BBN Jack Frills, what's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Okay, so I want to be clear about something. First of all, I want to say this, and I want this to be 100% understood. I want you to know exactly what I'm saying here. First, not hating on nobody. We don't do that over here. Second, we need people to be accountable for the things that they do and say and not be freaking clout chasing. That's two. Now, three, this is the third thing that I want to say. I want to apologize because we don't have our videos out late yet. I have somebody that I'm going to be speaking to today. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some kind of arrangement going on where I could get some of these situations, my computer situation fixed up, so then I can start getting stuff out. Shout out to Fort Lauderdale. So I can start getting stuff fixed up and we can get some of our shit out there. That's two. Just so somebody put the Cash App in the chat for me real quick so I can pin it. That's two. I want to be clear about some. I forgot all about the Cash App. I forgot about everything. Shout out to the person that put the Cash App name in the chat. So I want to be clear about this. We did not go live last night. I had some things that I needed to work on. Sometimes I need to decompress. I had some things that I need to work on. So I'm out in the train and I'm walking. I just got to say this because this shit is fucking weird. I need to say this. I don't know who is convincing people that I'm into the women, okay? This is not me being funny. This is me being straight up and honest with you. Please don't be approaching me with shit that is outside of what I go for, because I'm going to 100% take that as violence that you're trying to bring on to me. And I don't want to be outside getting into fights with people because they're men that are attracted to me, and I'm busy saying I'm not in the men. You're going to create a fight. So please, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with whatever your preferences is in life. That's you. So don't have a problem with my preferences. That's all I'm saying. And I am 100% not one of those people that believe that you have to do both things to know that you don't like it. You want to know what? I know I don't like eating shit. Guess what? I've never eaten it. With that being said, you know that you don't like it. You want to know what? I know I don't like eating shit. Guess what? I've never eaten it. With that being said, shout out to everybody out there that's into whatever you into, but respect what I'm into. And that's all that I ask. I don't ask anything else. Respect what I'm into. I'm not going to disrespect you for being into whatever you're into. That's between you and whoever you into it with. Now let's get to the freaking show. I want to say something and I want to be clear. I'm going to say something and I want to be clear. I want to say something and I want to be clear. I've never been a part of any gang. My crew I grew up with in my block on 158th, over there, CVP, Concourse Village, 840 area. Those is my dudes I grew up with. Copy? Those is the closest I've ever been to an actual gang. And when we was doing stuff, Bloods and Crips didn't exist in New York City. I just want to be clear about that. Are some of those guys now part of those factions? Absolutely. But me, myself, I'm a regular guy. You want to know what gang I'm a part of? I'm part of Jesus's gang. That's whose gang I'm a part of. Just so we can be clear. I'm a part of Jesus's gang. If you got beef with Jesus, if you got beef with God, then I got beef with you. Copy? Is that clear? Is that clear? So that's the energy I'm on. I'm with Jesus and I'm with God. Period. If anybody tell you different, they lying. That's right. I'm part of Jesus's gang. That's it. With that being said, let's get to this. I want to be clear about something. I did not see Mysonne in that courtroom not one day. I didn't see Mysonne in that courtroom not one day. I didn't see Mysonne in that courtroom not one day. I saw, first of all, salute the New Lane Entertainment. Salute. Shout out to Philly. Bam. I saw Big Body Bess in there. I saw Tahoe TV in there. I saw Manolo Rose in there. I saw a couple of other people that I don't know their names right off the bat, but there were other people in there also that was showing their support to Taxstone. I want to be clear on this. There was other people in there that was showing support to Taxstone. I want to be, hold on, I'm going somewhere. I'm going to go to what the issue is. This is, and this is something that I've been telling y'all about. I got to get some cufflinks so bad. I need to call Kendra. I better text her. Hold on. I need cufflinks. So I want to be clear on this, and I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. Shout out to the Bullets Gaddy Show 2.0 in it, with the $10 drop. He said, no one fan. Salute, my brother. I appreciate you. Check this out. This is real talk. This is no cap. This is real talk. I didn't see Mysonne in that courtroom not one day. Not one day. Bullets Gotti, if you want to call in, hit me on Instagram. I'll let you talk your shit today. I'll let you talk your shits today if you want to call in. You donated to the platform. I'll let you talk your shit today if you want to call in. Hit me on Instagram. I want to be clear about this. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. Mysonne was not in the courtroom not one day. This isn't me out here saying I'm a Troy Ave fan. And this isn't me out here saying I'm a Taxstone's fans. This is me saying Taxstone had people who was close to him telling him that he was doing the right thing by going at Troy Ave. All of that shit culminated in the death of Benga. Those is facts. Whether at the point of impact, the situation was created and or started by my Taxstone, or where it was created or started by Troy Ave. At the point of impact, Taxstone had people that was telling him that he was right for going at Troy Ave, and they were probably promoting it. Woo, woo, woo. Like they was me fucking Arsenio Hall out this. So this is my point that I want to make. If you was one of those people that was out here promoting that he go at freaking Troy Ave, and you didn't have the freaking nerve, and you didn't have the freaking, stop calling people a coward, homie. I don't want you calling nobody else a coward. You can keep doing it though, but you shouldn't, because you wasn't in that courtroom not one day. You keep talking about coward culture. Why didn't you pull up for your homie? You keep talking about coward culture. Why didn't you pull up for your homie? A general makes plays, stands on the front fucking line, right? You know what the front line for Taxstone was? Not after the case is over in the freaking comments. The front line was in that damn courtroom. You know who was in the courtroom? I was in the courtroom. You know who was in the courtroom? Tahoe TV was in the courtroom. You know who was in the courtroom? Big Body Bess showed up a couple of days. You know who else was in the courtroom? Manolo Rose showed up in the courtroom. And that other YouTube channel that I don't want to say name because I'm not trying to beef with niggas. They was in the courtroom. Where was you at, homie? Oh, you Twitter fingers. You Twitter fingering it up. You all of the Twitter fingers. Now you got all of this to talk about of Troy Ave. Now, coward culture. Why didn't you show up in the courtroom at least on the day that Troy, if you would have showed up only on the day that Troy Ave took the stand, if you only on the day Troy Ave would have took the stand, I'd have respect this. Salute, hold on. Let me get it so everybody can hear you over here, right? Yo, yeah?
Yeah.
Salute, homie. Talk your shit.
Hey, yo, I just want to say this. Salute to Jack Frost, man. BBN. I be watching a lot of shows in the bushes. I say, you know what, man? I got to support black businesses, man. I got to support the black channels on YouTube. And I'm donating and I'm showing love. And I say, you know what? I got to show Jack Frost his love, man, because he was out there during the trial. A lot of these dudes that was talking about this Taxstone Troy Ave trial, a lot of them wasn't there. Jack Frost was there front and center at the trial and was there. So when Mysonne and all these other dudes that be talking, y'all wasn't there, man. Mysonne, don't be talking because I put out that video. This is what people don't understand. I put out that video of Mysonne and Trife beefing at Jimmy Jazz. And, you know, Trife was mad at me for putting that video out. But it just shows you the disloyalty of these dudes, man. These dudes are disloyal to each other. And there's no loyalty.
They left Trife.
And you banging on Troy Ave, but Trice's supposed to be your man. And you defended Taxstone. So dudes is crazy, man.
On top of that, you just brought up a great point. I just want to say something. I want to piggyback off of your point. Trife was supposed to be his man. I don't care what beef they got. Trife brother he's not here no more. Trife was at court because they're going there for the man who just got convicted of manslaughter in the first degree against his brother. And you trying to tell me my son couldn't pull up one day?
Facts. Not even one day. He didn't pull up one day, man. That's why I say, man, when dudes be exposing my son on YouTube, you can't feel bad, man, because he's showing he's nothing but a fraud. He's an ambulance chaser. That's what it is. And a lot of these dudes need to stop it, man. And I'm gonna say this too, man, because I'm up here. A lot of dudes was going at Jack Frost, man. I had to watch the chat because a lot of dudes was going in my chat trolling, saying Jack Frost said this, and then I had to watch. I say, wait a minute, y'all dudes don't like Jack Frost because he been doing this thing a long time. A lot of dudes wouldn't be on this YouTube thing if it wasn't for BBN Network.
Salute, that's a fact.
Right, a lot of these blood dudes was coming to BBN Network to try to get after Queen Flip. They was coming to try to get their YouTube popping. Who they came to? Jack Frost. They can't holler at BBN. He helped a lot of these dudes, and what these dudes did, backbite them, throw them under the bus and all that. After he showed them the game on YouTube, it wasn't for Jack Frost. A lot of these dudes wouldn't have no YouTube channels.
That's a fact.
I'm just being honest.
No, that's a fact. That's why
these dudes would have no YouTube channels. You know that, Frost. You know these dudes wouldn't have no YouTube channels, bro.
Nah, that's a fact. You ain't lying at all. And they hating, and then they sending other people to hate on me and everything else. But you know, God, when you blessed, there's nothing anybody could do, and that's why we still here.
Yo, Frost, man, a lot of these dudes, and I ain't saying no names, I'm just gonna say it like this: a lot of these dudes that was talking crazy was moderators for Frost.
Yep.
A lot of these dudes that's talking crazy that's now sitting next to the Charleston Whites that's talking about their child was trying to get at Jack Frost with some straight shit. I saw it. And you know what's crazy? Frost wanted he got the last laugh. Because now these same dudes is crying sympathy and all that after Jack Frost try to help them, try to clean them up, try to get them a bag, and nobody wanted to show love to Frost. But now Frost is getting the last laugh, and he back out here. People talk about Frost again because you dudes was trying to fucking pigeonhole Frost after he tried to help y'all.
Yep.
Y'all went on Clubhouse and tried to shit on a man that really put y'all on.
Yep.
That's crazy to me. Hey, Frost was putting y'all, he was out here taking the shots for y'all dudes, man.
Yep.
A lot of y'all dudes certain beef was popping off. He had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with none of the YouTube beefs. People was dragging Frost in. Like, one time me and Frost had a conversation about a certain YouTuber that was talking crazy. Frost is like, yo, I didn't hate that dude channel. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't do that type of thing. And that's what I said. I said, Frost don't do that. He about his business. He do the news. He do the wake up morning show. And all these dudes that's coming out here trolling and doing all that, that's that hate. That's that hate. These dudes be hating because they mad at what Frost put out here with, if it wasn't for him bringing Snow Billy out with the whole BBN, Snow Billy, that whole Snow Billy 6ix9ine thing, that went viral to the point they put everything that 6ix9ine shit on the documentary. They didn't even put Frost in the documentary.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Come on, bro. Like, they had Frost in both documentaries on Hulu and Showtime. His content was on both documentaries. And nobody hit Frost up after he broke the stories. That's what I said. Frost been breaking the stories on here and been helping out these dudes and making them get some notoriety from the whack 100s and all this. These dudes didn't have no notoriety before that until Frost went and said, yo, I'm going to interview you. I'm going to help your channel out. I'm going to give you some traction. And after he did that, they bit the hand that fed them, and now look at them. They can't even get popping on YouTube no more.
No.
They left YouTube after Frost done showed the blueprint to these dudes, and they try to act like they was big shit when they know Frost put them on. Come on, man.
Also, you got to think about it like this: what company, who out here that's making money want to deal with somebody that's busy trying to take somebody else down? Niggas out here, people out here that's making money and doing shit, they don't want to deal with that type of energy.
Facts. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Why do you think I don't never want to come at nobody? Why do you think that the only way, me personally, I want to speak on something is if it has some kind of factual basis aligned to it? I barely ever talk about how my opinions on other people. I promise you I don't do that. Only time you hear my opinion is when it's attached to an actual fact that we could discuss. Now, as far as this Mysonne thing is, I appreciate you, my brother. And I'm not sure if we had words at any point besides this time or not, but don't worry about it. That's not what's on my mind. That's not stuff that concerns me. I put all that type of shit in God's hands. Feel me? So I want to be clear on something. Talk that what you want to talk about Mysonne real quick, because he didn't show up to the courtroom not one day.
Yeah. So Mysonne, let me say this too. So Mysonne, a lot of what Mysonne is doing is he's trying to make it a proven point that he still want to be gangster. Okay, you can't say you woke and then say you gangster and then talk about you about the kings not killing kings, black murder, death to black murder. So if it's death to black murder and kings not killing kings, why is you doing it? It's the same reason why I went at them and I exposed them Frost. When I put the video, they flagged me too. I had to take the video off my channel. They flagged me because I put the video out where they went to Jimmy Jazz and barked on a female working at the job. And then after they barked on her, she called the brother. They pulled up on Mysonne. Trife done left him. Trife for him getting the whole argument, which exposed that these dudes already had an issue with each other, but it exposed like they not really cool like that, and that they looked on each other right at Jimmy Jazz. So now when you see Mysonne saying what he's saying and doing what he's doing, it just shows that Mysonne ain't really bang with Trife, and he really wasn't rocking with Trife like that. It was all a money play. That's all it was.
Well, I'm going to say this, right? And I know a little bit about something else, so I'm going to kind of switch this in a different direction, but we're talking about the same thing. Okay, so for everybody that don't know, Shin Duke McFadden ran for Brooklyn Borough president. I didn't see Mysonne and his team out there helping him.
Nope.
What the fuck, fam?
Yeah.
So 9 times out of 10, y'all encouraged him to do this, or he did this because of the energy that he was getting from y'all, because y'all had some kind of political strength or political power. So whether he can win or not, you're supposed to be there for your brother. Am I wrong or am I right?
No, you're right. You're supposed to be there for your brother and support him.
Boom. And I'm saying this, and I just want to just digress for one moment back to something that you spoke earlier. I was there trying to help people that I didn't think that they could win without me.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, bro.
I was out there trying to help people that I did not think that they could win without me. But I was still putting my name on the line, my reputation on the line, everything that I had, my business on the line to help some people that turned totally their backs on me and then decided they wanted to try to destroy me for the come up. Is that not the truth?
That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth, bro. When they started getting them eyes on them and they started getting their subs up, they started dissing you for no reason, Frost. And I seen you was loyal to a lot of men. Even men I had conflicts with, Frost, that you was so cool with them and loyal to them, and they were still your brothers. It's like, damn, when they did you, I was like, damn, they really doing Frost like that after he helped put money in these men's pockets.
You see what God did to them.
Yeah. God did the dirty.
All right. You see what God did to them. So I can't be angry and I can't be mad. But what I will say is this. Mysonne didn't show up for Shanduke McFadder at all. That's a fact. So do you still got that video? Send it to me. I want to see it for myself.
Oh, I got you, Frost. I'm gonna definitely send it to you. I got you.
So they didn't show up for Shanduke McFadder. And I'm going to tell you something. I fuck with the McFadders because I speak to these guys sometimes, a couple of them offline. Like they hit me up. They told me that they appreciate what we're doing over here and all types of different stuff over there. They appreciate, first of all, R.I.P. Benga. They appreciate the way that I speak about their brother, their son, their nephew. I'm not sure if he was a father or not, but they appreciate the love that we give to him, and they have been very supportive of the platform. I just don't make a big deal about it because I don't know if everybody wants to have their business out there. So I'll say this much: they have that Mac, the security thing that they was doing, and they was trying to get the kids off of the street. Right, that Trife in them was running. So I want to, and they was literally security for Mysonne all over New York City. For those that don't know it, they were security for Mysonne. So every time you saw Mysonne pulling up, like that, the last like 4 or 5 years or whatever the case might be, when they were still cool, every time you saw Mysonne pulling up talking his shit, he was talking his shit knowing that he had Trife had his back. That hit Trife and his dudes had his back because they had the streets. So my point is this: when Trife is in court because his brother's gone and they're trying to see what kind of justice is or isn't going to be gotten, going to be his brother and their family is going to receive, I have no idea how Mysonne can't be there not one day.
That's true. That's true. I don't understand that either. And the crazy thing is, he been marching with Trife for a long time, and this is a dude that he broke bread with, and this is a dude that been his security and all that. That you basically telling me that you couldn't come to the court hearing and support him, but you make a post that basically is like dissing his brother and dissing Troy Ave, who was basically his brother's friend. Like, it's crazy to me. And you defending somebody that took his brother's life. Like, that's supposed to be your guy. I don't.
That's bananas. You know? Hold on. That is bananas. Thanks for pointing that out. Finish what you're saying.
Yeah, that's crazy to me because at the end of the day, this is a guy that you know personally. This is not a guy like it's a random guy. This is a guy that you basically march with all the time, go out of town with. There's pictures with him and Trife on Instagram together. So this is not somebody like Trife was even defending him on Clubhouse. When I was on Clubhouse Frost, he was up there defending Mysonne. He was coming up speaking for Mysonne on Clubhouse when people was talking disrespectful. So this is a dude that basically was defending Mysonne, and then you turn your back and try to act like like he's bugging or he's tripping for being mad. Like I saw them having an exchange on Instagram a couple days ago. Frost, they was going back and forth, and Mysonne didn't even respond to him. So that just show you that, you know, it's tension there, and it's because of what Mysonne is doing.
Well, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna get back to my shit. But is there anything you want to go out with? And I'm agreeing with you on most of this stuff. And feel free to call in to the show whenever you feel like we're talking about a topic that you want to discuss. You pull up in the chat. You can call into the show.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, so salute to you, Frost, man. You know, everybody continue to support BBN. You know, and we gotta, you know, when somebody help you in this game, man, I had to learn that the hard way too, Frost. Like when you start helping these dudes and these dudes start getting their subscribers up, it's like
ungrateful.
Damn, bro, they become ungrateful. They start kicking you in your back, and I'm like, where's all this coming from? But that just show you, man, God works in mysterious ways, man, and these dudes get their karma. And that's why I always say, man, I'm a child of God, man. I believe in that, man. Good karma comes to those that do good. Bad karma comes to those that do bad, man. So that's all I want to say. Frost, keep doing your thing, man. You know, I support the platform. I'm definitely going to come back over here, and I'm definitely going to make sure I spend my money over here, man. We supporting Black-owned business over here, man.
Appreciate you, my brother.
All right,
Stay
man.
blessed. Salute. I mean, I ain't really want to talk about that shit that involved them with them people out there doing whatever they doing. Do whatever. Could we get those likes up, please? We got 101 people in here. We only got 15 likes. Come on, man. Get them likes up if y'all don't mind. From now on, when people do $10 drops, I'll give them the option to call in, depending on what the show is about and depending on who they are. If you a weirdo, then I don't got time for it. I don't give a damn. I don't got time to be going back and forth with a weirdo. I'm not here to argue with you. You feel me? All right, so hold on. Let's get back to what we're talking about. Once again, shout out to New Lane Entertainment. Salute to New Lane Entertainment. Shout out to Big Body Best. Shout out to Tahoe TV. I hope that's the guy's name. I don't know the guy's actual name. His channel's kind of lit though. I want to say something real quick. So I've been following Tahoe TV for probably over a year or two. I didn't know this. So I saw the nigga in real life. I think people feel away because I don't be knowing how niggas look in real life. Even when I see you on Instagram or I see you on something, I can't tell you in real life. So salute to the brother. He pulled up in the chat. I also actually like his content. So this is not me talking shit. I actually like his content. I need to start commenting on his content more. All right, Team Nova, appreciate you. Cop the Troy Ave album. I'm on it. So hold on. Let me get back to what I'm talking about. You know, he could have just contacted me and I would have just did the soundbite over. Like, you know that, right? I would have did the soundbite over. I know you took a soundbite or whatever, but if I would have did it over, just so we could be clear. I feel honored. I just want to say this. I'm not on no side of this. Don't get this confused. But I feel honored that anyone wanted me to be on their album. I feel honored. With that being said, listen, pay attention. I want to be clear about this. And I don't want this to be no misunderstanding. Your man, shout out the team. No, this dude got a blue check. Shout out to Team Nova with the $50 drop. Salute. Popping bottles. I know it's early, but he just bought everybody in the chat drinks. Copy? So we popping bottles right now. Everybody, we popping bottles. He just bought everybody a drink. Hold on. We got some shit to say about Mano too, but I want to get on this one first. We talked about Mano the other day. I'm going to start reading some comments. I want to read this one specifically. Cats defending Mano and speaking on the incident publicly, but isn't Troy Ave's own hearing still pending? Is that not how can it be? The only stuff that's prejudicial is stuff that gets given to the jury. Like, this is not given to the jury, just so we could be clear about that. This is not given to the jury. So I want to be clear about something, and I don't want to be no misunderstandings about this. I didn't see Mysonne in court not one day. I bet you Mysonne was one of them dudes that was busy talking to Taxstone, telling Taxstone that he was right for going at Troy Ave. All right, that's what it is. Y'all should hit me up. Hit me up on Instagram. Team Nova, hit me up on Instagram. Line up that Troy Ave interview so I could go interview the brother. I'll pull up to y'all studios. You heard? Line up the Troy Ave interview. He's going to give me an interview at some point. Line up the interview. I'll do the interview at your studios. You heard? It's going to be a real interview, though. It's not going to be no damn shouting match. We're not doing a shouting match. Yeah, we're not doing a shouting match. Let me be clear about this. I'm not doing that. We're going to talk like grown adults, and we're going to have a real interview. We're not doing a shouting match. I'm not there to condemn him, and I'm not there to exonerate him, just so we can be clear. I'm there to interview him, and that's it. Also, I want to interview Taxstone, but I want to interview Taxstone in person. I think I'm going to try to hit up Esquire to see if we can do something about me pulling up to the jail where Taxstone currently is, and hopefully they could get. Could we get Judge Clout on the line so I could hopefully go get an interview with Taxstone? No, I can interview you about the Montgomery Esquire. I interview you about your music. Hell yeah. You got artists and everything else, right? Let's interview about the music. What the fuck are you talking about? I support who support me, right? What you talking about? Yeah, hell yeah, interview you about the music. Why wouldn't I? That don't make sense. I'm gonna pull up over there and not interview you about the music. We gotta know what y'all guys is doing. I'm pretty sure you're working with more than just him, right? You're gonna have other artists there, right? Next King says, why is the narrative being changed? Troy Ave came for a problem and got his man turned to dust. That's his fault. We're talking about Mysonne right now. There is no narrative being changed. There is no narrative being changed. We're talking about Mysonne right now. Why are we not talking about the thing you want to talk about? Easy. If you had a YouTube page, you can go live right now and talk about the thing you want to talk about. You do know that, right? You don't have to talk about the thing I'm talking about. You can go live and talk about the thing you want to talk about. You do know that's how social media works. Just so we can be clear. I'm pretty sure one side has one story and the other side has the other story, and I'm ready to speak to both sides. I'm pretty sure one side has one story and the other side has a different story. I'm ready to speak to both sides. I'm not here to say who's telling the truth. I'm just here to say, what are you saying? Mysonne don't agree with playing the victim after you started the problem. Okay, not a problem. Why didn't Mysonne show up to court? At least on the day that he was testifying. Why didn't Mysonne show up to court? Why would Mysonne weigh in on this in any manner, knowing that he has a long history with Trife of them actually being like this? A long history of them and Trife actually being like this. Why wouldn't Mysonne show up to court and support his brother? Before you say another thing, answer that. Godfire Film says peace. Godfire Films tapping in. Shout out to Troy Ave, Wolfie, the Facto Show. We got these YouTube streets hot this week. Shout out to Godfire Films. Nope, you're not still blocked. You are not still blocked. You know who I'm talking to. You are not blocked. I unblocked everyone. There's no way you're still blocked. I took everyone off the block list. If you're not coming through, it's because of the words that you're using. Drop some frost. Anybody that think they're blocked, drop some frost. Drop some frost and then get back to me and tell me whether you blocked or not. How could, first of all, I never want to hear that Mysonne is standing on the code. You want to know why? Because he's an activist. You can't be a freaking activist and say you're standing on the street code. That's the epitome of hypocrisy. How in the heck? Okay, Mysonne Taxi, you don't got to go too crazy. And we're not here to disrespect the brother. All right. I prefer no disrespect. Copy? How can you say that you stand on the street code? How can you say that you stand on the street code? How? How can you say that you stand on the street code and you're an activist? So you're an activist against everything except for the problems of the hood? What are you activating for? What are you activating? What's a man? No, stop. Stop. Okay, stop. If my son wants to debate this with me, he could debate this with me. Because you're not going to be able to debate your point but so well in the chat, with all due respect. I'm going to say this again. Whatever your point is, and I kind of get what your point is, and I don't want to just flame you outright, because you're not going to be able to debate your point effectively in the chat. You're not going to be able to. So this is literally me showing that I am not biased. You're not going to be able to debate your point in the chat. All right. So the point in which I'm trying to make is, if it's a man code, he should have still showed up to the courtroom. Street code stopped him. His man code stopped him from showing up into the courtroom. You see why you shouldn't debate somebody unless you got it. You see? Do you understand? Do you see? Your man code. So my son's man code prevented him from showing up to the courtroom and show respect and show his love. Even if him and his brother are at ends, they don't. The problem isn't so big that he couldn't have showed up to court. And if the problem was so big that he couldn't show up to court, he shouldn't be talking about it right now. So his man code. You see how you shouldn't debate a person like me over the chat right there about a topic like this? I'm not one of these regular YouTube channels. I'm not here to talk about my emotions with you. That's not the real Hassan Campbell. At least I don't think it's the real Hassan Campbell. I'm not here to debate my emotions with you. You can't tell me that his man code made it so he couldn't show up to court. Now, what are you doing? Now you sitting around and y'all trying to figure out what to say next. What the hell, fam? That's a fact. So you sitting around right now, y'all trying to figure out what to say next, right? Y'all not going to be able to debate me in the chat, homie. I'm not fake intelligent. You get it? I'm not fake intelligent. It's not fake. I'm not tricking nobody, and it's not a scam. Mysonne, in my opinion, this is an opinion of mine. No. I don't think Mysonne isn't a good dude. I have not ever, I'll read the comment just so we can be clear. Team Nova says, in all fairness, Mysonne is a good dude. We work with him, but a lot of people brainwashed by the streets. The 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing is confusing. Just so we can be clear, I don't think Mysonne isn't a good guy. I don't think Mysonne is a bad person at all. I know you're not saying me. I just want to be clear on this because I don't want no one to get just in case I'm coming off that way. I don't think Mysonne is a bad person at all. I just think Mysonne does whatever convenient. That's it. I'll let that go through. I think he just says whatever convenient. That's it. I think he says the thing. I think maybe it's because people have convinced him of something or not of something. I have no idea. But I think he just says the thing that's convenient. And for the person that's on here talking about me, you go talk to Bullets Gotti about what Bullets Gotti said. You a coward if you coming to me about what Bullets Gotti said. Copy? If you coming to me about something Bullets Gotti said, you a coward. Go talk to Bullets Gotti. Don't talk to me. You just mad you can't come on my show. That's it. Either stay blessed. Remember when I was helping all of y'all? Y'all pages was lit, wasn't they? Now I'm not helping y'all. Remember? I'm all of the bad things in the world. Get out of here. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. I have to make sure that the damn green light is visible so I can know if this shit is on and nuts. Also, Could we get those likes up, please? We got 130 people in here. We could get those likes up to about 50. Now, I want to be clear about something. I do not have a dislike for Mysonne. I actually appreciate a lot of the things that the brother does. I want to be clear about this. I appreciate a lot of what he does. I appreciate what Until Freedom does. Y'all know I love Queen Tamika Mallory. Y'all know that. See, told you that guy was fake. Y'all know that, just so we can be clear. Y'all already know. But I want to say this. I want to be clear on this, and I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. I believe what he's doing right now is clout chasing. If you agree with me, drop some frost in the chat. Team Nova says, but back to my boy Troy. He one of the humblest, dopest people to work with. People don't like him because how he come off on the internet, but boy, funny, dope kid. I've met Troy Ave a couple of times in person, and every time I've met him in person, he's seemed humble to me. I don't know his relationship with other people, and I'm not claiming to. But every time I've seen Troy Ave in person, he's been pretty humble to me. He's been okay to me. I don't have an issue with Troy Ave. Troy Ave, every time I've met him, I don't know outside of the times I've met him. So I am not saying that the people who feel a way about him don't have a reason to feel that way. I've heard he's gotten rappers beat up. I've heard he's gotten journalists beat up. This is what I've heard. So I'm not here to say that any of those things are incorrect. I'm not here to say that those things aren't true. All I'm saying is, when I've met him, that's not the energy I've received. With all due respect. So when somebody tells me that Troy Ave is humble, when somebody tells me that Troy Ave is funny, I can't disagree. I haven't seen any different. I would love to get some Troy Ave merch, and I would love to get some Taxstone merch, because I would love to wear both merch on the show. Obviously not at the same time. Just so we could be clear. I would love to wear those brothers merch, Troy Ave merch. I would love to wear Taxstone merch. I am a media entity. There's days that I'm going to say things and it's going to be said very strong, and you might not like them. But I promise you, I don't dislike you. I promise you. I'm not on that type of time. But if you doing some shit, especially some shit that in my perception is going against what the Most High want us to do, I'm going to call you out on it. And you can't be a hypocrite. Copy. You can't be a hypocrite. You just can't be. I don't want to hear Mysonne is talking about a real man code, because a real man code would have made sure you was in that courtroom. Copy? How deep is the problem with you and Trife? I don't know. But I don't think the problem could be so deep that you couldn't have shown up one day. I could see if it was an event that only happened one day, and therefore you didn't show up. Okay, I'm here for that. But this was an event, a situation that carried on for at least 2 weeks. I'm fine. You don't got to go to court. But that also means after it's over, you can't then start throwing shots at anybody. Let's go read what he said on Instagram real quick. I don't rock with this type of behavior. I don't have nothing. What the fuck? Sorry, I saw something that was just what the hell. All right, let's go see what he wrote on Instagram real quick about Troy Ave. This is the picture he posted. It says, the one on the top says Troy Ave in court wearing a bulletproof vest. And it says, I'm a drug dealer. I love the streets. Obviously, this was when he was in court previously. And then this time when Troy Ave showed up to the court, that was a slick suit, by the way. It was a 3-piece too. It was a slick suit. It says, Troy Ave in court testifying. The streets a myth. There you go, right there. That was a slick suit too. And I think he had the Jordan. I forgot which Jordan's on. I really couldn't see, but I saw him later on in the picture in the video. You see him. He was slick. He was looking good. Boom. All right. So no homo. You got to say that nowadays, right? So Mysonne's post says, at some point today, in the interest of saving these kids from the poor influence of these false gangsters who sell images to lead them to their demise, who use God to promote poison and want you to believe that money supersedes integrity and morals, I'm going to be using federal informant Roland Collins as a case study for Boycott Black Murder. I will completely break down how real the streets are. The only myth is that it comes without great loss. The only myth is that it comes without great loss. Hashtag stay tuned. Hashtag sit down with the stand-ups. Hashtag gangster but woke as F. Hashtags real is rare. Now, the first thing I want to say is he a federal informant or a state informant? I thought this was a state case. That's one. I could be wrong. I'm not wrong. That's one. Two, just so we could be clear, he says, at some point today, in the interest of saving these kids from poor influence of the false gangster who sells images to lead them to their demise. Currently, Troy Ave is saying God is great. I'm not talking about whatever he was talking about before. If you don't have no sound, that's on you, homie. Anybody else got no sound? If anybody got no sound, let me know. So currently, just so we could be clear, Troy Ave is saying God is great. I'm going to say that again. So this is what I mean by who is Mysonne really going against? So at some point today, in the interest of saving these kids from the poor influence of these false gangsters who sell images to lead them to their demise. So currently, just so we could be clear, Troy Ave is saying God is great. Right? Currently. Right? What else is Troy Ave currently doing? Troy Ave is, just so we could be clear, some of what Mysonne is saying, I'm going to be on board with, but hold on, give me a second. Currently, Troy Ave is preaching the Most High to a degree, right? I'm assuming. I think that that's what's happening. Do you ever hear Mysonne preaching God? I don't know if he is or isn't. I'm going to scroll through some of his posts. God is great. It's a fact. Okay, so I've never personally really heard Mysonne preach The word. Being acknowledged for the work of God has chosen me to do. Okay, so I see him mentioning God, but I see him mentioning being honored, being acknowledged for the work God has chosen me to do. That was March 19th. That's not necessarily speaking God's name, right? That's not. Okay. And hashtag God's work. Okay, but that's not preaching God. That's accepting integrity, honorary, bravery. Looks insane to a coward. You know what also looks insane? Talking shit about a dude or speaking up for a dude and saying that a dude this and a dude is that and the guy is, but you won't show up to the courtroom. Remember, Mysonne is one of those individuals that don't got to worry about getting locked up. Remember that. Most gangsters don't go to the court because they got to worry about getting locked up, right? Mysonne doesn't have to worry about getting locked up. His paperwork is correct. His paperwork is right? Shout out to the work that they do over there at Until Freedom. I really do appreciate a lot of the work that they do. Just so we could be clear. I love and appreciate a lot of the work that they do over there. I do. I'm not going to stand here and pretend like I don't. I'm happy that they speak out on a lot of these issues. I'm happy that they go out there and sometimes take photo shoots of them getting arrested. I know people think that that's bullshit, but it's kind of bullshit, but it also isn't. You understand what I'm saying? Some of them be 100% bullshit, but some of them be for a good reason. Sometimes you need to go out there and get arrested to bring eyes onto a situation, just so we can be clear. So I appreciate what they're doing out there, right? Cancel coward culture. Okay, why didn't you show up to court though? Shout out to Erica Ford. Life can't Inc. That's a fact. Shout out to Erica Ford. That's a fact. Salute. And Life Camp Inc. That's a fact. So I just want this to be clear. I'm saying what I'm saying because what Mysonne is doing is wrong. And every time he does this specific thing, we call him out. We the BBN Network. So who are you going at, John Smith? Mysonne and them making a video in front of the courthouse, just so we could be clear. And for everybody that don't know, I don't necessarily agree with him doing that, but that's him creating his content in front of a courthouse, right? Mysonne and them create their content in front of courthouses all the time. They just have different content. You see what happens when people, you can't have these conversations with me over text. I'm smart for real, for real. I'm not fake smart. I'm not fake intelligent. It's not fake. You're just gonna make yourself look bad every time you try to debate a point. If Mysonne want to call in and talk to me, he's never gonna do that. He's never gonna do that. But if Mysonne ever wants to call in and talk to me, the line is open. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm 100% willing to listen to how I'm wrong. If a person is telling me about how I'm wrong with facts and not emotions. If you telling me that I'm wrong because of the way that you feel about what I'm saying, I don't want to listen to it. What up, Shane Kane? I'm just keeping it a stack. I don't want to listen to it. Also, if you are enjoying this show in any manner, you can always pull up to the super chat, which is back, the Cash App, the PayPal, and also you can hit that like button. Likes are free. Let's get. I want to mention something real quick that Mysonne said that I actually agree with. He says when we use God to promote poison and want to believe that money supersedes integrity and morals, that's the only real issue that I have with some of the things that Troy Ave is doing. Having more money than somebody else doesn't prove or doesn't show that you have a higher status with the Lord than them. We're not talking about whether Troy Ave was the aggressor or not, Devon. Why are you trying to change the story? Why are you trying to change what we talking about? Go on your page. But you could stay over here talking about stuff we're not talking about, though. You could stay over here playing the victim. That's what you're doing right now. You're playing the victim by talking about something that we're not discussing. Who you playing the victim for, by the way? Put their name in the chat so we can know who you playing the victim for. God gives and God takes away. Exactly. So, nah. Devon. I don't know how to spell that shit. I think it's Devon, right? Who you playing the victim for? Put that in the chat. Because that's not what we're talking about. So let's get back to what we actually talking about. We're not talking about that neither, Gina. But you could talk about that with Devon if you want. Both of y'all talking about shit that we're not talking about, but y'all can talk about that amongst each other. Argue with each other. I'm not going to be arguing with you over shit I'm not talking about. But I do want to point something out. Somebody else said something in the chat I find valuable. Somebody else put a valuable comment up. To be clear, Mysonne's issue with Troy Ave came into play because he was speaking up for Trife on the rap side of things. After Troy Ave Power 105.1 interview about being Banger's family. All right, so that's why Mysonne is arguing and complaining because Troy Ave stuck up for Trife. I would love to know what Mysonne and Trife's beef is. So explain, Team Nova. You could call in if you want. Hit me on Instagram. You could call in if you want. Let me accept that Instagram follow you sent me. I don't know what you follow me on, but hold on. I like how you could just throw that right to the side on this bitch. Nah, I don't got no new or requests. Okay, I don't have any new requests over here, so maybe it's on the other side. Let's see. Are you sure you follow me, homie? Somebody put my Instagram in the chat for dude, because you might have followed any old one. Because they got a million fake Instagrams out there. I think you followed the wrong person, homie. I don't see your follow. Oh, Mysonne stuck up for Trife when they were friends against Troy, but he not friends with Trife no more. So he's still beefing with Troy? So then why didn't he show up to the courtroom? Does anybody else understand why I'm confused? Does anybody understand why I'm confused? I'm confused. So he did not show up in the courtroom, but after everything went to shit, him and Mano want to talk about how, and this is not me going at Mano either. Him and Mano want to talk about how Troy lied on the stand, but y'all didn't get nobody to tell the truth on the stand. So y'all trying to tell me y'all know people that know what really happened, but nobody wanted to go to the court for tax stone? I don't want friends like you niggas. Real talk. You have to have, just so we can be clear, you have to have that freaking the square with you. The dude that he could go to court and tell everything that he saw and nobody gonna be mad at them. I'm not trying to laugh at this shit, but you need that dude with you. You need that square with you. You need the dude with you that can go to court and testify on what they saw. I think you sent a jump off to the wrong person, homie. I see you just like something. Hold on. I follow back. And I sent you a message. Everybody needs that. What you call the sober driver? What you call that guy? The guy you bring out with you to drive the car where everybody else get drunk. The designated driver. Yeah, everybody needs a designated driver, a designated square. Somebody who is not involved in no criminality. You're not telling them no criminality. You're not bringing them around no crimes. Everybody needs that guy with them. You know what? So when some weirdo shit happens, you got somebody to go to court. Maybe two of those guys. So you got somebody to go to court. If you out here beefing with niggas you think is fake, you out here beefing with niggas you think is fake, you don't think they're going to go to court? Shout out to Sebastian Tamkins. You don't think they're going to go to court? You think they fake, but you don't think that they're going to go to court and testify. I just want to be clear on this because I want to have a full understanding of the logic of a street nigga. I want to be clear on this. Because from what I hear, Troy Ave's lawyer and the state was trying to get Troy Ave to talk on tax stone. He did not speak on tax stone until that letter came out, allegedly. Allegedly. Troy Ave's lawyer and the state was trying to get Troy Ave to speak on tax stone, and he didn't until the letter came out. Allegedly. So I need to understand these. I don't need to understand these street codes. I'm not living by them shits. I'm living by the code of the Most High, just so we can be clear. Shout out to the Most High. First of all, I feel blessed this morning. We got 153 people, 130 people in here. We got 54 likes. We got $10 to the super chat. We had some people pull up to the Cash App. I feel blessed this morning. So salute to the Most High. All things are possible inside of the Most High, period. God first. That's a fact. So I want to be clear on this. And what do we got the word this morning? Hold on. I'm going to see if we got the word this morning. We're going to read the sentence. Let's see if we got the word this morning. I use this phone, so I can't read the whole passage. I want to apologize about that. Nope, I don't have the word this morning. Oh, shoosh. They didn't send it. I want to apologize. They didn't send me the word this morning yet. So I'm just being clear on this. Shout out to Sebastian Tamkins with the $10 drop. He says, it's been a minute. Great work with the case. Appreciate you, my brother. Salute. I'm very happy that you are one of the people that's been around for a long time and ain't went nowhere. So I appreciate me being able to do something that made sense for your continued support. I can't stop those people out there that's trying to dirty my name. But you see, God is doing nothing for them. You see, God is not helping them. God is doing nothing for them. Just pay attention to that. So the people that's out there trying to hurt me, God is doing nothing for them. Nothing. And as you see, I'm letting comments from both sides go through on the chat. So I don't want to hear nobody say that I'm being biased. Only people that's getting kicked is the people that's talking crazy about me. Somebody said they pre-ordered the album, but because of their name, I kicked them. They said they pre-ordered the album. Somebody said you're gonna be his one and only self. I kicked him because of his name, by the way. Yeah, we don't got time for the bullshit. We over here doing what we do. So I want to be clear about this. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. I want us to be on the straight up and up about this. Hey, anybody want to pull up to Times Square with me today? Hey, Team Nova, you gonna be up in Times Square today? I might go down to Times Square today. Who want to link up in Times Square? I might go down to Times Square today. I might pull up to Times Square today. I might pull up to Times Square today. I don't know. Give me 1 second. Be right back. Now, I don't know this to be a fact, right? But I'm going to tell you what it feels like when I see these dudes come out of the woodwork now talking shit about Troy Ave all of a sudden, and they know nobody that showed up to the courtroom. First of all, for the people that showed up to the courtroom, I think y'all have full carte blanche to talk all the shit y'all want about this case. Whatever side of this you want. My feeling is you got carte blanche. For the people who don't live in New York City, couldn't get here, and you feel like talking shit about this case, full carte blanche. But for the people who live in the city and didn't show up not one day for Taxstone, not one day, didn't show up not one day for Trife, not one day. I don't care what side of the aisle you on. You didn't show up not one day. I'm going to tell you who y'all feel like to me, and I could be wrong. You ever see the dude that he's standing there and it could go either way. They fight or they don't fight. He don't really want to fight. And he got his homeboys behind him talking about kick that guy's ass. So then he go fight. Then he get fucked up. Then everybody go home. And they still talking shit about the dude that whooped his ass. That's what this feels like. I'm going to tell you how fights went back in the day when I was a kid. Fights went like this back in the day when I was a kid. Your peoples be like, yo, y'all gonna go shoot the fair one. You show up with your posse, they show up with their posse. You show up with your crew, they show up with their crew. That's what we called it. It was not gang. The fighting start happening as soon as one side starts losing too much, or as soon as the other side starts losing too much, we all jump in and it's a big rumble. Somebody tell me where the lie at. Sometimes, not often, but sometimes what will happen is the fight will just be a good fight and it's evenly matched and nobody's really getting their ass whooped and we just let people fight to the end. That also happens sometimes. But generally speaking, if your man was out there getting his ass whooped, niggas just jumped in. And both sides understood this. You are literally, when you know that your man got some hands on him, you literally standing there waiting for the other dudes to jump in and help their people. You already got it mapped out which dude you gonna hit. Tell me where the lie at. Y'all standing over there like, yo, when this shit jump off, I'm going after that nigga right there with the black hat. I want to get at this motherfucker for a minute anyway. Tell me where the lie at. You dudes that's talking all of this shit and couldn't even show up to the courtroom, you dudes to me look like the dudes that when you see a man getting all lumped up and beat up, y'all was the crew that didn't jump in and help and break that shit up. Y'all just let him get washed. Y'all let Tax get washed. And now y'all got the nerve to be out here trying to talk about Troy Ave was wrong. This is beyond the fact. This is after the fact. It don't matter if Troy Ave was wrong. It don't matter if Troy Ave was 1,000,000% wrong. When y'all could have helped Taxstone in that courtroom, nobody pulled up. Y'all watched that nigga get his ass whooped. Tell me where the lie at. where the lie at. I want to interview fucking Tax Stone so fucking bad that I don't want it to be over no damn phone. I want to interview that nigga in person. I want him to feel my energy so he understand he can talk his shit. Nah, the stabbing started first, Shane Trent. The knife work started before the gunplay. For those that don't know, the knife's work started before the gunplay. The gunplay came out because the knife work was getting niggas hurt. All right? For those that don't know, for those that wasn't there, the knife work started before the gunplay. I had to let some of your comments go through. Don't worry, I let them go through. On the replay, people gonna be able to see them. Or if you refresh your screen. So that's how I feel. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. I'm sitting in that courtroom. I don't have I'm on nobody's side. I'm on zero people's side. If you can't tell, because one day I'm busy talking about the shit one side is doing, and then the next day I'm talking about the shit the other side is doing. So I'm on nobody's side, just so we could be clear. But I'm gonna call the BS when I see it. They left so I don't want to hear Troy Ave lied on the stand, homie. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear how Troy Ave got up there and lied. I don't want to hear it. Because if he lied, that makes it even worse that people didn't come out and defend their homie. Because I promise you, when Tax Stone was doing all of those 1 million tweets at Troy Ave, y'all niggas was whooping it like y'all was Marvin Evans, like he was Arsenio Hall, and y'all was in the audience. I promise you, when Tax Stone was doing all those tweets, these are most likely the same people that was like, get him. Get him. And then when Tax Stone go to court off of all of this business, you're trying to tell me you know that the dude got on the stand and lied, but you didn't call his lawyer because you had time. You didn't call his lawyer and say, yo, I know I said before that I wasn't going to testify, but this dude is on the stand and he's lying and we can't let this go. I got to testify. I'm waiting for Mysonne or any of these New York dudes to say that lawyer didn't do a good job. You mean the lawyer you didn't want to help? If you don't live in New York, if you wasn't there when this happened, it is what it is. It's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility. Just so we could be clear. But if you in New York, and you was at the event, or you know some people that was at the event, and you're not trying to get some of them people, and you saying Troy Ave is lying, fam. So you're just gonna let Tax Stone go to jail? You're not gonna help him? You're gonna watch him get his ass whooped. I am so blessed that I grew up with niggas. When I started getting out there and hanging out, and I got my little, crew, our little clique that we was with over there in Concourse Village, 840, over in that area, the 158 area. Shout out to 158 salute. Shout out to 840 salute. Shout out to Concourse Village salute. When we was over there and I was running with my brothers over there, they my brothers to this day. I can't wait to get to where I can so I can pull everybody with me that's about something. But them brothers, I want to be clear on this. There was no a nigga getting his ass whooped. There was none of that. Because we all getting home. We all going home. There was no watching a nigga get his ass whooped. Like if you had your homie that you knew couldn't fight, but you knew he had heart, so he was gonna fight. That means we jumping in that shit early. Because we know you can't fight. We gonna let you try to get a lick or two off, and then we jump it in. What the hell, fam? Shout out to Bridging the Gap. Shout out to Drew. He said, God great, paper straight, $50 drop. Popping bottles. They bought 2 rounds of drinks this morning. Let's go. Who drinking with us? You can also just have coffee or tea if you choose. We have an admin. He usually just chooses drink boxes. I'm going to try to get the champagne bottles. Boom. They bought a second round of drinks. Team Nova doing all of the things this morning. Let's go. Who drinking with us? You can have coffee or tea if you choose. I have admin. He usually just gets the juice boxes. He's at work. I want to be clear about this. Natasha said, we got the green tea going on over here. I might need to date you. God is great, paper straight. Salute. I want to be clear about a couple of things. And I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. Check this. Also, let's get those likes up. Likes are free. I want to be clear about this. And I don't want there to be no misunderstanding because I'm not throwing shots at niggas. Definitely appreciate you, Nova. Definitely. It is what it is. We over here, I'm going to stop real quick. I do my job because it's my job. Copy? There's days I'm going to say things people like, and there's days I'm going to say things people don't like. But that's the risk that you run when you're not biased. That's the risk that you run when you don't favor one side over the other. You just got to hope that you're dealing with real niggas. Part of my language. You just got to hope you're dealing with real ones. Because when you're dealing with real ones, they understand. When you're dealing with fake niggas, they can't understand that. They think that every single thing that you say has to be beneficial for them. In order for me to tell what I perceive to be the complete story, I'm going to say things that people don't like on certain days. I'm not here to be nobody's friend. I'm here to help get the message out. I'm here to help get the story heard. I'm here for that. And I appreciate the people that understand that that's my job. Is that fair? Who the hell is Mario? I think Shane is just trying to start weirdo shit in the chat. Could we pay attention to him if you're not too busy? Art, I'm gonna keep an eye on him too. I don't know what that. Who's the fuck is Mario? The R&B Mario? Who did R&B Mario whoop? R&B guys can fight some of the time, so I'm not questioning the R&B Mario. What you talking about, Shane? Please comment so I don't kick you, and then you be like, you don't know why you got kicked. Luigi's brother Mario? Okay, he's just telling jokes then. I have no idea what he's talking about. All right, he's just telling jokes. He's just telling jokes. I don't know what to do. Also, on video games, I use Luigi, not Mario. The Green Crusader, you rat bastards. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. Okay, so Shane is talking cryptically. Usually we just kick people that's talking cryptically because we assume they're trying to insult us without us knowing. So we're going to give Shane one more try. You got to be clear when you're talking over here, man. I don't like all that cryptic shit. Satan is the author of confusion. I don't like all that cryptic shit. Just so we could be clear. You could do what you want, though. You could do what you want, though. And then he said, I guess that's 2 threats in a row. He's probably gonna get kicked soon, so we'll just leave it alone. We'll let him talk like he's talking, because he's a tough guy, but he's not gonna say what he means. Remember that, a tough guy that doesn't say what they mean, a tough guy talking cryptically. Anyway, in any regard, so I want to be clear about this, and I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. Right? Did we get on live early today? I think we went a little early. I'm gonna be clear about this. And I want there to be no man. This guy's putting all of their Instagrams in here immediately. Bring them all. Make sure y'all send me friend requests also to the appropriate page, not to the fake pages. There's a ton of fake BBN pages. These guys is weirdos. They trying everything they could do to slow me up, and that's why God don't favor them. They trying everything they could do to slow me up. That's why they don't get no favor from God. No favor. Copy. You seen the fake page, right? Report all of the fake pages, by the way. All right, so hold on. I'm going to be clear on this. This is not hate towards any of these dudes at all. I understand some of these guys feel like they need to speak on this specific topic. I get it. But my point is this. And this is, I'm going to explain why I'm not going at Mano. Listen to why I'm not going at Mano. I don't agree with the whole not helping tax, but at the same time, Mano went on a program and he was asked the question and then he responded. He went on a program and then he responded. I want to be clear about this. Listen and pay attention. Mano went on a program. He was asked the question and then he responded. So I don't really have much to say about Mano. I don't know. I think I follow him on Instagram. I didn't hear him going at Troy Ave on Instagram. See, the difference is when you go on a program and then somebody asks you a question, and then when that question get asked to you, what you then do is you respond back with an honest answer. That's different energy for me. You understand? For me, that's different energy. You was asked the question and you went respectfully and you responded back to the question. Copy? Boom. I'm here for that. I'm fine with that. I don't have an issue with that. Even if partly what you didn't do was go into the stand crowd, you didn't help, whatever the case might be, yada, yada, right? But he was still responding back to a question in which he was asked, just so we could be clear. Mysonne seems to consistently be interjecting himself into circumstances in situations that he avoids getting involved in when he could have made a difference. So you're trying to tell me with your political clout you have, Mysonne, you couldn't have, before all of this transpired the way that it transpired, before all of this transpired, before the verdict went all the way out, before court even started, when it was leading up to court, you trying to tell me that you couldn't use your platform to then voice your opinion on Taxstone and Troy Ave, and how Taxstone didn't do this or didn't do that, or how Troy Ave is this or is that? You couldn't use your political power, because he has political power. Let's not be confused about this. You couldn't use your political power in that manner. Also, just so we could be clear, you're supposed to be for Kings Stop Killing Kings, right? So are you saying that Taxstone is innocent, or are you saying Taxstone is guilty, but Troy Ave wasn't supposed to get on the stand and tell people? What are you saying? Hold on. He has a Kings Stop Killing Kings march. I was at it. It's still on our page. Go check it out. So you have a Kings Stop Killing Kings march where you're saying kings need to stop killing kings, right? Then you're criticizing Troy Ave, who went and took the stand in a murder case where Taxstone was found guilty of manslaughter in the first degree. So are you saying Taxstone is innocent? And if Taxstone is innocent and you are King Stop Killing Kings, that means that you was actively supposed to be trying to get Taxstone exonerated. And if you're saying that Taxstone is actually guilty, King Stop Killing Kings, then why are you criticizing Troy Ave for taking a stand? Because somebody explain this to me, because it makes no sense. R.I.P. Banger. That's a fact. Could somebody explain this to me? I'm here. I know we got some Mysonne apologists in here. We got Mysonne supporters. Pardon me. I didn't mean to say it like that. That's wrong. But could somebody explain this to me? I just need somebody to explain it. Can somebody explain this to me? I'll say it again. One of Mysonne's hashtags, and he had an actual march. I was at one of these marches. It was a great march. It had a lot of political wealth. A lot of political parties was there. It was absolutely great. I appreciate Mysonne, and I appreciate Queen Tamika Mallory, and I appreciate Until Freedom, and I appreciate the then Bronx Borough President, Ruben Diaz Jr. But putting this on, I think that this is a thing that they should have kept going on yearly, just so we could be clear. I appreciate all of them putting this on. It was powerful to be there, to be marching down the Bronx. If y'all don't know about how wild the Bronx is, then I don't know what to tell you. I said the then Bronx Borough President, the then. In 2016, go check and see who the Bronx Borough President was in 2016. You just listening to find a problem. I got you. So shout out to the then Bronx Borough President, Ruben Diaz Jr., who I actually know personally. I don't know Homegirl personally. Ruben Diaz Jr. has given me more than one interview. All right, copy. Salute, Letitia. Latasha. I don't know the current Bronx Borough President. Ruben Diaz Jr. has given me more than one interview. I know him. Just so we could be clear. So salute to that. So you have a Kings Stop Killing Kings March, which was powerful. And I wished that we had one every year, and then we built up off of that and kept building on that. Let's just be clear on this. But you criticize Troy Ave. So are you criticizing Troy Ave because you're saying Taxstone is innocent? And if you are saying Taxstone is innocent, then why weren't you actively trying to get him not convicted? Because if Taxstone is innocent, then that means that there's a guilty party out there not getting their just due, right? And if you're saying that Taxstone is guilty, then how are you criticizing Troy Ave for taking a stand? I need somebody to make sense of this to me. You see why these dudes would never do an interview with me? Not on shit like this. We could talk about other things and I won't bring up stuff like this if we're having a different conversation. Don't get this confused. But you see why these dudes would never have it? Because I know. And I'm relatively articulate. So could somebody explain this to me? I'm here. I know we got some people that love Mysonne in the chat, Mysonne supporters. Could y'all explain this to me? Because I'm kind of lost. Tariq says political power and ambition. Yeah, but that goes, doesn't he also say he's doing God's work? God's work should have nothing to do with ambition and nothing to do with whatever political power there is or isn't. I'm here. I'm listening. You know, people love saying I'm wrong about shit. If you do appreciate the content that we're dropping today, you can always pull up to the Cash App, the PayPal, and our super chat is back. But if you do not want to do any of those things, or you can't, there's a like button. That's free. Brooklyn Goat says Tax was minding his business and Troy came in there looking for trouble and he got his friend killed. Troy did bad. We're not discussing that at the moment, but y'all could keep discussing that in the chat. I'm not going to stop you. Road Runner says it's crazy how after they got that money, they haven't been back to the streets. I just think the boy is F's. So I'm asking. I think that this is a reasonable request, right? I'm not asking nothing unreasonable. What does Mysonne going at Troy Ave do? Did I fart or burp? I burped a little. What's impossible without the police? What's impossible without the police? Tariq, if you're going to do one little comments and not put context, I'm not going to read it. Just so you can know from future comments. If you're not going to add context so I can understand what you're talking about, you're trying to create confusion. I get it. You want to sound smart. I get it. Everybody wants to sound smart. But if there's no context, you can't sound smart. Pet Fact says Mysonne is trying to show a lot of these rappers people aren't who they say they are. But I'm literally explaining to you how Mysonne isn't who he says he is. So explain that to me. Mysonne is an activist. So why is he speaking out on this? Mysonne is an activist. A man is going to jail. Did he think that that man was innocent? If he thought that that man was innocent, then why was he activating for him? If he did not think that that man is innocent, then why is he going at Troy Ave? That's a pretty simple question. Rich Franklin said, Mysonne just wants attention. Team Nova Boy says, I think the street code and people that follow it have no respect for the codes their parents tried to teach them. Because how you uphold that over what was taught in your house? I think you're correct. I think you're 100% correct. Marion, who is almost always, every day, he's almost about to get kicked. Today he says, but Mysonne preach a lot of stuff he don't follow though. And that's what we're talking about today. Marion is usually almost about to get kicked every day, by the way. For the people that don't know, people that don't come here every day, almost every day, Marion is about to get kicked. Sooner or later, you got to pull up to the super chat or the Cash App or something, because you almost about to get kicked every day. Today is not one of those days, by the way. But generally speaking, you almost always about to get kicked. Road Runners say, Mysonne's supposed to be for the betterment of our people and not talking about someone shouldn't be trying to get justice for their loved ones. I think that's an excellent point, by the way. I think that's an excellent point. I'm so wavy said we know that Mysonne does stuff. He's just an activist, but on the wrong for the wrong reason. Some kids got no don't got good parents and no guidance. I didn't have parents at all, so I 100% understand what you're trying to say. Road Runner says he's effing up bad and making himself look like a con. Team Nova says, look, if this was any other rapper besides Troy Ave, the narrative would be different and in favor of the rapper. Interesting. Brooklyn says, you changed, the old you would have kicked them. I'm trying not to kick people. I really am. But I've already kicked like 10 people so far. You just didn't see it. I'm kicking one right now. Pet Fact says, why is Mysonne and Trife cool if you feel he doesn't have the best intentions? I have no idea if Mysonne and Trife is cool. I have no idea. I know they used to be. I don't know if they are now. Roadrunner says, Mysonne is not an activist when he's telling people they shouldn't take stand. He is throwing his credibility out the window. If Mysonne want to talk street rules, he should just go back to the block. I agree. Pet Fact says, Mysonne obviously ain't co-signing tax because of him and Trife relationship. Okay, so he's not co-signing tax. So he thinks tax is guilty, right? So then why is he saying that? Why is he talking about Troy Ave trying to get justice for somebody that he thinks is guilty? Appreciate you. Team Nova. So he thinks that he's guilty. He thinks that he's a king that killed the king. Correct? What time we got? 11. Right? Ricardo Jones says, we're not talking about why he told. We're talking about Mysonne. But copy. You can argue that in the chat with other people. You can argue that in the chat with other people. That's not what we're talking about. It doesn't matter why Troy Ave was compelled to testify. You do understand that, correct? That we're talking about Mysonne, and how is Mysonne saying Troy Ave can't testify? Notice how people always want to change the subject after I done absolutely tear them a new one. Then they be like, oh man, we can't talk about this with Jack no more. We got to change the subject. I want to know who Mysonne is being an activist for when he goes at Troy Ave for testifying. Is he trying to teach the kids that they shouldn't take the stand when after they've seen a crime be done? What is he trying to show people? Explain it. I'm here. I'm listening. Explain it. What is he trying to show people? I don't, as far I heard they had issues before this. What is he trying to show people? I'm here, I'm listening. What is Mysonne trying to show people? Is he trying to tell kids that when you see a crime be committed, don't tell the police? I'm here, I'm listening. What is he doing? Is he trying to convince the kids to not come forward at when they know a crime has been committed? Because he said this is for the kids. What up, First Class Empire? Salute. King of Talk said he a recruiter for the streets. Possibly. Kansas City said that's exactly what he did. That's what it sounds like he did to me, just so we can be clear. It sounds like he's telling kids, if y'all see a crime, don't tell anyone. Tell me where the lie at. So either Taxstone did the crime, Mysonne believes he did the crime. And if Taxstone did the crime and Mysonne believes he did the crime, then why does he care, or why is it bad for Troy Ave to take the stand? Or Mysonne believes that Taxstone did not do the crime. Taxstone is innocent. Then why didn't he speak out for Taxstone before the guilty verdict? He's an activist. He's not a street nigga, so I don't want to hear how street rules apply to him. They don't. We got 25 likes up in, we got 75 likes up in there. We could get to 100. Y'all mind hitting that like button for me? I'm here. I'm listening. I'm paying attention and I'm actively responding. Let me know what's going on. Put me on the game. Because what it looks like to me is Tax was in the fight and all of his homies stood around and watched him get his ass whooped. And then after Taxstone got his ass whooped, not everybody want to talk about how the nigga on the other side cheated. From what I hear, the only person that was helping Taxstone during the fight was freaking Casanova. Shout out to Ken Thompson. From what I hear, shout out to Kansas City. From what I hear, the only person that was helping freaking Taxstone, allegedly, was Casanova. I heard Casanova was pulling people off of Taxstone and grabbed Taxstone up because Taxstone was on the ground, allegedly. And he allegedly threw people off of the top of Taxstone and then pulled Taxstone up to his fucking feet. And that's how he lost the gun, allegedly. So if that's what happened, if that is what happened, allegedly, then I need somebody to explain a couple of things to me. So I need some people to explain a couple of things to me. First, then why didn't nobody help him in court? Second, more importantly, why didn't somebody help him at the scene? There's a good chance nobody would have got shot. Yeah, the girl Mano was with got shot. I 100% understand why Mano just left the scene. The girl he was with got shot. Mano 100% gets a pass on that. He had to worry about the people he came with. He 100% get a pass on that. Mysonne should have stayed out of it. Only made him look bad and stupid. Now people will see him for the street dude playing activist. I'm curious. So is Mysonne saying Taxstone did it? Pardon me. If Mysonne saying Taxstone is innocent, and if so, why wasn't he speaking out in Taxstone's benefit before this happened and making a big deal about it? Or is he saying Taxstone is guilty? Because he's saying this dude got on the stand. So if you're saying Taxstone is innocent, then why didn't you get out on the stand? Why didn't you come out and speak out for Taxstone's benefit before all of this went down the way it went down? You got political power. And if you're saying Troy Ave is lying on the stand, just so we can be clear, you knew Troy Ave was going to take the stand. Why weren't you out there in front of the courthouse with your people in front of the courthouse? Those are the same people that the jury got to walk in the courthouse, right? Why weren't you out there with picket signs in front of the courthouse? The jury would have had to walk right past you. At least once. So if you're saying Taxstone is guilty, though, and you're just mad Troy Ave took the stand, then I thought it was King Stop Killing Kings. In any regard, I think he shouldn't have just spoke on any of this. I think this is one of those things that when somebody come up to Taxstone and asks him a question about Taxstone, Mysonne, and asks him a question about this, because he is a an activist. See, it's different when you ask a regular actor, a regular rapper. They don't get shit together. He's an activist. He can make a phone call, have 50 people in front of that freaking courtroom with damn banners and shit saying free Taxstone. Tell me where the lie at. Tell me where the lie at. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm here. I'm listening. Tell me where the lie. Air Force Cup says, Air Force Up 1 says, the streets of myth, cats pick and choose, and he picked the wrong one. Yeah, I want to know what I'm saying is wrong. You can't tell me that I'm so much smarter than all of these guys that no one thought of this. If so, they need to start hiring me. Yo, Jack, we just want to hire you for a sit down for an hour. How much is that going to cost us? You can't tell me I'm so much smarter than all of these guys. Nobody thought of it. You telling me nobody thought of it? So why aren't these guys hiring me to go sit down and talk with them for an hour or two? Explain that shit to me. I'm in the room by myself, so I hope I'm the smartest person in this room. I'm here by myself, so I hope I'm the smartest guy in this room. If not, there's a real problem. But and it should be a quotation between the quotation should be around the room, not just room, by the way. It should be around the room, not just room. I'm being pedantic, but but it should be around the room, not just room. I can't really talk about that stuff in the chat, problematic, because that's gonna cause us problems over here with YouTube. If you are enjoying any aspect of our show, you could always pull up to the Cash App, the Super Chat, or the PayPal. Our Super Chat is back on, so you could also become Green Team members again if y'all choose. Shout out to Tony Brown, putting our Cash App in the chat. It's already pinned, Tony Brown. I appreciate you. Oh, no, that's just a hashtag. Copy. I love the hashtags, too. I love all the comments. You guys are incredible this morning. But hold on. So tell me where I'm wrong at. Am I saying anything incorrect? If I've said anything incorrect, that you've heard me say anything incorrect this morning, put it in the chat. If you heard me say anything incorrect this morning, put it in the chat. That energy. I have no idea why I'm so hated. I really don't have no idea. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. I have no idea why I'm so hated. I really have no idea. I'm not lying. I have no idea. Shout out to, is this you, Ken Thompson? Shout out to Ken Thompson with the $5 drop. No comment. Clint Eastwood eyes. I have no idea why I'm so hated. I can't really talk about it, and I don't know anything about it. And if I bring it up, YouTube is gonna then block my page like crazy. Shout out to Gaddy with the $9.99 drop. He says all of the things. I think that's BBN. Shout out to Gaddy. Gaddy pulling up to the chat. Salute to everybody. Y'all not gonna catch up to Super Chat today. Super Chat's been incredible, but shout out to everybody that pull up to the pardon me. You're not gonna catch up to the nobody's gonna catch up to the Cash App today. But shout out to everybody that's our Super Chat patrons. I really do appreciate the Super Chat people, and I appreciate the Cash App people. And if you are a Super Chat guy and you're a Cash App guy, I definitely appreciate you, and I love you PayPal guys also. You PayPal mofos be dropping the PayPals when they watching the video and repeat. So the PayPal patrons is a whole nother energy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Yeah, I'm willing to go up to Rikers. Absolutely, Miss Applebaum. I'm 100%, 1,000,000%. If the percentage is so high, it's not even a real number that I'm ready to go to Rikers. It's so high, it's not even a real number. I'm just keeping it a fact. I gotta buy a new mic. My mic broke. I need to buy a new mic for my camera, but my mic broke. But yes, absolutely. Appreciate you, Miss Applebaum. Bonita Applebaum, you gotta put me on. Like the double entendres. I would 100% go there and give him an interview. That's a fact. Don't let nobody lie to you. I have no idea why jury selection is taking so long in the I 9 times out of 10 people don't want to be on the jury. So you probably got people pulling up giving all the bullshit ass reasons in the world, and the judge is allowing for them to not be on the jury, just so we can be clear. So that's probably what's happening. That's probably why it's taking so long. I would assume if you was on the jury, you have to be scared that if you find that man guilty, that you and your family is going to be in danger. You have to be scared. Did Miss Applebaum leave? And 100% go to Rikers. It's a fact. Just talking about this is Frost over here. I be going anywhere. And by myself. Yo, did it just get dark here for like 2 seconds? I'll be going anywhere, and I'll be going here by myself. I'm Jack. I'm Jack. Me want Bobby. Yeah, I would love for him to be able to get his rendition. At some point, I'm gonna most likely interview Troy Ave. I would love to be able to interview Taxstone. And on top of that, I just don't think I was in court. So he could get anybody to interview him that they want, right? It is what it is. But I was in court. I have actual relevant questions. I was in court. I have actual relevant questions. And I'm not trying to condemn the brother, and I'm not trying to exonerate him. So we can be clear. But I do think that he should have the opportunity to tell his side of whatever the hell, period. And it probably would be a good idea to do it before his sentencing, just so we could be clear. So if this is a thing that's a possibility, doing it before his sentencing, it might behoove him, pardon me, it might behoove him to do this before his sentencing. Shout out to the Order D Glass with the $5 drop. He says, catch that BBN wave. All of the waves. Why would I tell you the questions that I would ask him that other people aren't thinking about, that don't even make sense? Yo, why don't you tell me all of the things that you know that other people don't know, so we can all know it? No, nigga. Part of my language. Really? This is the type of time you guys is on? I ain't got time for this. What else y'all want to talk about? Dang, we 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours into the show. If y'all are enjoying this show, I definitely hope y'all. I had to make sure it was this mic on. Yeah. If you're enjoying the show, I definitely, first of all, I'm happy for everybody that's here. I feel blessed this morning. I feel blessed that everybody pulled up. We got 111 people in here right now with 82 likes. I feel blessed. I also feel blessed for all of the people that decided that they wanted to be a part of our super chat. And I feel blessed for all of the people that decided they wanted to be a part of our PayPal. You guys are the best. Thank you very much. We're trying to do a lot of stuff over here. I've experienced a lot of people trying to tear us down, but as you see, they don't have any other content but talking crazy about me. They don't have no actual content. You understand? They just want me to be cool with them so bad. That's not gonna happen because God first. Why would I give you a second chance to bite me, you snake? Like, why would you give a snake a second and third chance? Like, that shit don't make sense. So keep the hate over there. I wish you all of the prosperity in the world, just not at my expense. I don't have no hate for any of the people that throwing hate at me. I have no hate for you. I'd rather shower love on the people that love me. That's it. And the things that I do over here is what I do. So what I do over here is what you guys appreciate. So I wish to be able to continue to do this well into the future. I wish to be able to grow this platform so we can go to all of the court cases that we would like to go to. I will wish that that's a thing that can happen in the future. Because y'all got to remember, if I'm going to a court case, in the court case I'm going to, and we're talking about somebody and it's a murder trial, there's a good chance that there's people sitting next to me that have caught a body or two. And I think that that's the part people don't get when they out here talking crazy, saying Jack Frost is a sucker, Jack Frost is this, Jack Frost is that. Nah, I'm just cautious because I understand the people who I'm around, you know, at the end of the day. So once again, shout out to everybody that pulled up to show support for Taxstone. Shout out to everybody that pulled up to show support for Benga. Not in that order, but just in general. And RIP Benga, that's a fact. Salute to that man family. Salute to Taxstone's family. I saw their moms, all of their moms was up in there every single day. Trife was up in there every single day. You understand what I'm saying? So salute to all of that. And at the end of the day, we have to figure out a way that we can get along with one another. Now, if you're trying to tell me that all of this happened because of Troy Ave side, okay, then fine. Why didn't nobody help out Taxstone? And if you're trying to tell me that Taxstone was wrong, then okay, fine. Why do we have so many people coming out now that didn't want to speak previously trying to defend Taxstone? So I'm not mad at I'm not mad at nobody. And I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody. But what I'm saying is, if you 100% believe that Taxstone was not in the wrong, If you 100% believe that that situation was created due to another person's actions, then why didn't you help that man when he was in court? That's when he needed your help. He don't need your help now after he was found guilty. What the hell does he need your help for now? He needed your help when he was fighting. You want to try to put bandages on the shit after all of this is over. But why wasn't y'all trying to help him when he was busy fighting? Shout out to Sharice. She says, I agree. I wish someone would have stood up and got on the stand on Tax's behalf. Why wasn't nobody out there then? Y'all want to talk all this shit about Troy Ave now? Okay, whatever, right? But why wasn't nobody out there when the shit was going down? Why wasn't y'all then? Where was y'all then when he needed y'all? When you was in the middle of the fight? People love pulling up after the fight is over and telling you, oh man, you know, we would have helped. No, you wouldn't have. You knew that the fight was at 3 o'clock. You knew right after school I was about to fight that nigga. You knew. When we was arguing during recess, y'all was standing behind me, encouraging me to argue with the fool. Y'all knew the fight was at 3. So now 3 o'clock come, the whole school outside, except for my people. The whole school outside. The only people that's not outside is the people that, my people. The people who was encouraging the behavior, which I did, that helped exacerbate the situation that caused the fight. Tell me where I'm wrong. I'm listening. Tell me where I'm wrong. So I'm not on nobody's side here. But I think that it's kind of messed up that now all of these people are trying to get their clout up off of Troy Ave while Troy Ave is trending. But when Tax Stone was fighting at 3 o'clock, the only guy that was out there in the freaking courtyard with him was Casanova. That's it. Nobody else was out in the schoolyard with him. I'm hearing about how Casanova was throwing bodies off of him, got him up off the ground and was like, come on, we gotta go. The cops is coming. So that was the only dude that was there for Tax? Hell yeah, I want to talk to Tax Stone. You mother effing right. You ain't said nothing wrong when you said that, yo, Jack, do you want to talk to Tax Stone? All of the interviews. Sharice says, I wish he was in the room when things initially took off. It would have been a different outcome. Me hearing that he was the only one that was there in the mix with Tax Stone, I believe you. I don't know what else to say. For everybody that don't know, Casanova stepped out the room because him and his girl got in an argument and she was leaving. So he stepped out the room. Him and her was arguing. She leaves. When she leaves, Malcolm and his girl leave with her to go get her, make sure she's okay. Casanova stayed 9 times out of 10 because he wanted to make sure he had Tax Stone back. That could have been what they was arguing over. What the hell do I know? For everybody that don't know, Casanova stepped out of the room, and I'm only mentioning this right now because Sharice brought it up. Casanova stepped out of the room because his girl Jazzy and him got into an argument, and she said she leaving, and then she left. Malcolm left with her. Him and his girlfriend, Star Bermudez, they both left with her to go help her get an Uber or a cab or whatever the hell. Casanova stayed. That might be when it happened. That's probably why he wasn't in the room when the shit popped off. Now, I'm not here on nobody's side. Pardon me. That's a burp, not a fart. Pardon me. I'm not here on nobody's side. I'm not promoting. First of all, we're never promoting violence. We're promoting a conversation. We're promoting God first. We're promoting that we have to figure out a way to come with each other in order to do better. That's what we're promoting. Shout out to Sharice. She said, tread lightly because I pull up on you. In any regard. In any regard. I know you good, baby girl. Don't worry about it. I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your humor. So I'm in no way, just so we could be clear, I'm not saying Tax did do it. I'm not saying Tax didn't do it. I'm not trying to say Troy Ave did it. I'm not trying to say Troy Ave didn't do it. I'm not saying none of that. That's not even the conversation I'm having. The conversation I'm having is saying there's a lot of people that's busy saying Troy Ave lied on the stand. But remember, the defense calls their witnesses second. So y'all all knew that Troy Ave was going to get on the stand. And nobody wanted to get on the stand to help Taxstone. That's when the fight was happening. Now, people want to, after the whole situation is over, have all of these comments. That's the issue. That's the problem. With all due respect. Because you know it's really a suck? If Taxstone's actually innocent. If he's actually not guilty and he about to go do that time. That'd really suck. That'd really suck. That'd hurt. Like if I was Taxstone, if Taxstone actually did not pull the trigger, if Taxstone did not actually shoot these people, and I don't know, I wasn't there, and I'm not saying he didn't. He got found guilty in the court of law. I'm not trying to go against what happened in court. We don't do that. But what I am saying is, if it happened different than the way that it was explained, the way that it came out in court, and I'm Taxstone, and I know all of these people saw different, and nobody came Nobody showed up in court. And now the insult to injury, they on the internet trying to pretend like they my people. But they watched this nigga get on the stand and say something that was not true. If what Troy Lane said was not true, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't. But that gotta hurt. Like that gotta hurt. Also, I'm 100% with homeschooling the children. Shout out to Latasha Jordan. You send your kids to school now and they trying to convince them that they not boys and that they not girls. So I'm 100% with homeschooling your children. I don't think the school should even be talking about genders. I think the school should be teaching these kids how to read and write. Why are we not teaching our kids? In China, they teaching their kids all type of advanced mathematics. Over here, we teaching our kids that you could be a boy if you was born a girl, and you could be a girl if you was born a boy. So I don't understand none of that. Sharice, they needed witnesses. The prosecution had witnesses saying Taxstone shot the gun. They needed witnesses saying Taxstone didn't shoot the gun. Period. That's how that works. The jury is only able to go off of the information that they receive in court. Copy? So since the only information they received in court had to deal with saying that Taxstone pulled the trigger, they needed to get contrary information from reliable witnesses. And they needed more than just that one girl who didn't see anything, and the dude didn't see anything. They had no one that actually saw anything. The jury has to go off of the information they received in court. So once again, if you have people who saw what happened, and it's different from what Troy Ave said, but they rather go on social media and talk about how Troy Ave lied instead of pulling up to the courtroom and getting on that stand, I don't know what to tell you. And I don't want to hear that Mysonne, and I don't want to hear that Mysonne couldn't take the stand because why? He's an activist. Why in the hell would you be? How could you be an activist if you can't take the stand in legal proceedings? Somebody explain that for me. How can you be an activist if you cannot take the stand during legal proceedings? Put it in the chat. I'm here. I'm listening. Explain it to me. I'm here. I'm listening. Anyone? 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 So as far as I know, it is Mysonne's job. Shout out to Darkwing Salute. As far as I can tell, Mysonne's job is to talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine, Troy Ave. What else is his job? That's his job, to talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine, to talk about Troy Ave. That's his job. Not to get somebody who he might think is a. Does he think Taxstone is innocent? So then why didn't he help him out? Like, you don't even have to get on the stand. He could have just had some people in front of the building with free tax stone signs. Y'all do know the whole trial. I was wondering why people didn't do that, right? The whole entire trial. I just didn't say anything because that would be picking a side. I would literally show up in the morning and don't see nobody in front of the building picketing. And I'm busy thinking to myself, watch after if this verdict come back and he's found guilty. All these people, you're going to see people on the internet that's going to be talking about whatever they're going to be hating on Troy Ave. And none of these mofos is out here trying to stick up a tax stone. I was busy thinking this shit. And I can't tell nobody and I can't talk about it because then that'll be me taking sides. The next time y'all have a problem, y'all need to get a couple $100 together and ask me, do I got a couple hours to talk to y'all? For real, for real. I'm not even capping. If you hire me, I can do that. If you don't hire me, then I can't do that. Just saying. The next time y'all got a problem, y'all need to get a couple $100 together and hire me to come do a sit down with y'all and have a freaking for real. Because there's so many things that people could have did that nobody did nothing. I am not the smartest guy. I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'm not trying to laugh at this shit, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'm gonna let y'all go. Everybody enjoy y'all day. I actually wanted to end the show a little while ago. I just kept it going a little while longer because because y'all paid for the show pretty much today. So I stayed on a little bit longer. Hold on. Marion says, I got a question. For everybody that don't know, Marion Newsom is usually about to get kicked almost every damn show. So this is probably going to be really good or it's going to be terrible. In any regard, I got a question. Do you think he got found guilty of the manslaughter instead of the murder because Troy said he swung first and because he pulled out the gun? I'm blowing my nose. Hold on. Okay, so I think there's numerous reasons why he got with the manslaughter, not the murder. But yes, I don't think you can give him murder 2 or murder 1 or anything like that if you're saying that he was busy being attacked. I think specifically the sentencing is April, I believe 19th at 2:15. I hear Media Madness says, I'll pay you to help you start a YouTube podcast. This is the wrong place to talk to me about this. You should be trying to talk to me something about that in my DMs. And that's where you should be trying to hit me up about something like this. You should be hit me up in my Instagram DMs. All right, so I'll say this much. Actually, it's a pretty decent question, a pretty good question, Marion. Marion Maroney. Okay, Newsom. That's a pretty good question. So I think specifically Troy Ave not only saying that they threw the first punch, but Troy Ave also saying he was trying to get out of the room. But he couldn't get out of the room because everybody was at the door trying to all get out the room at the same time. So the only reason why Troy Ave got shot was because he couldn't get out the room. So he turned around and kind of blindly fired at Troy and then turned back around, still trying to get out the room. There's no intent to cause death there. So if he was beefing with Troy Ave, that's who the beef was over. That's the main guy he was arguing with, Troy Ave, right? So if he fired at Troy Ave and then tried to get away, or he tried to get away, fired at Troy Ave, and then continued to try to get away, then how can you say that he intended to kill the other guy, Benga? Obviously, he also didn't intend to kill Benga either. So I think Troy Ave's own testimony is what got him off of the murder too, and attempted murder. I think Troy Ave's own testimony, because honestly speaking, Troy Ave said I was trying to wrestle him. He slipped out of my grasp. I fell on the floor. When I fell on the floor, he turned around and tried to run. He couldn't get away because there was too many people in front of the door. And so he turned around and fired at me. And remember when I told y'all that before the verdict? And I said, he just turned around and fired blind. And y'all was like, oh man, nobody does that. Yes, that's what he did. He just turned around and fired at him. He didn't fire at him with no intent to kill him or nothing. He just fired at him. Also, if Troy Ave got hit in this leg and in that leg, that means that when Troy Ave was on the ground, Troy Ave was to the side. He had to be standing on that side of him because the bullet went through this leg and then got lodged in this leg. So Troy Ave wasn't straight up to him like this. Whereas if he would have hit him then, the bullet would have went in that leg or in that leg. Troy Ave was on his side. He was standing on that side of Troy Ave. The bullet went in this leg and got lodged in that leg. So that meant that he could have shot Troy Ave in the head if he intended to kill him. He literally shot at Troy Ave's legs. That's not attempt murder. That's not attempt murder. That's from Troy Ave's own mouth, by the way. It's not attempted murder. He was trying to get out of there. He couldn't get out of there. He turned around, he fired at him, and he tried to get out again. That's why Troy Ave had enough time to jump up to his feet and grab him. For everybody that don't know, Marion, he's almost always about to get kicked out. Almost every day, I'm about to kick this guy out. There's some good comments today, though. But generally speaking, I'm about to kick this guy every day. But some of these people, especially y'all rappers, and this is the second time I'm saying this. Yeah, Troy Ave like that. Troy Ave kicked himself when you do that shit. That's what Troy Ave did to get back to his feet. Oh man. That's what Troy Ave did to get back to his feet. That's what Troy Ave did to get back to his feet. It's called a kip up. That's what Troy Ave did. Oh man. So that's literally not. I wasn't in the jury room with them, obviously, but once again, he got shot in this leg. It went through this leg, got lodged in this leg. That means that the bullet had to come from that direction. That means that Troy Ave had to be laying like this in order for the bullet to go through his legs like that. So that basically means that if he wanted to shoot Troy Ave in the head, he could have. If he wanted to shoot Troy Ave in the body, he could have. He chose not to. Did anybody else tell y'all that, or am I the only one? Am I the only one that broke that down? Did anybody else break that down, or are they talking about the gossipy angles? People tend to only want to talk about the gossip. Are they talking about the gossip, or did they break that down? They talking about the gossip, or did they break that down? We could get Troy to do a kip up. You guys is crazy. But I actually whatever. I'm not going into that. If I ever do a case in Cali, I got you. Oh, you want to sit down and have lunch with me? My dude, I've done almost kicked you like 1,000,000 times, man. But anybody else broke that down for y'all, or they just doing the gossip angles? Because I just want to say this. For all of these dudes that be on the internet talking about you can't snitch, for all of these dudes that be on the internet talking about you got to keep it gangster, they whole page be nothing but gossip. Dude, you're not kicked, right? You're not kicked, right? You good. Don't worry about it. So hold on, just so we could be clear. These dudes that swear I'm not valid, why do they only talk about gossip? They don't have the time to find out what really happened? The dudes that say I'm not valid and do all the hate against me, why I'm just asking. I'm gonna leave that alone though. Shout out to those guys. I hope God does for you what you're trying to put out into the universe. Over here, we're gonna put out love into the universe. I love you guys. I love everybody that pulled up here today. I gotta get some grub. And I've been talking for a long time, so my throat is hurting. First Class Empire said, Frost, I do legal services. You are smart like Perry Mason. Salute. I watched that show. That show good as hell. Most lawyers that are not prosecutors like me, the only prosecutors that I met that like was in the federal building. Those guys like me. But those guys were actually fans. I was surprised. Hold on, I want to say something real quick. I was surprised when the prosecutors in this case wouldn't even stop and talk to me for a moment. I was surprised. When I'm in the federal building, those prosecutors come up to me and talk to me. Like not about the case per se, but they come up to me and talk to me. Like I'm not real talk. I've been in the freaking federal building waiting for the trial to start, waiting for whatever the proceedings to start. And the freaking ADAs or the DAs or whoever these guys are, I think one of them, the main DA, they come up to me and talk to me, homie. Like they know who I am. I was surprised that the freaking DAs, Keenan and them didn't talk to me. I'm not hating on them. It's cool. But I was surprised that they wouldn't come talk to me. Surprised. I can't explain to you how surprised. I was surprised. I'm just keeping it a stat. I was just surprised. We're gonna get back in the federal building soon. They just treat you different over there. I don't know how to say it. Like First of all, shout out to all of the police officers, all of the court officers. Those guys were all great. I love you guys. They was all great. I was leaving. They was like, yo, in case you covering next. They was all great. I love you guys. And I don't have no problem with Keenan and her team. I don't have no problem with them. I don't want to make it sound like that because I don't. But I'm not going to lie to you. I was surprised that they wouldn't speak to me. Like, what the hell, fam? I was surprised. No, the federal dudes literally said they was fans. They start asking me about shit that we was covering in the Tekashi trial. They start asking me about shit that don't got nothing to do with the Tekashi trial. They start asking me just about random other shit that I was covering at the time. This is a fact. That's how I know they were fans. They was just randomly asking me about shit that I was covering that had nothing to do with Treyway. I'm sitting there like, okay, fam. Nah, so this happened and that happened. Wow, what's good? For real, for real. I don't know if they still watch, but I know that I'm pretty sure they was watching when I start covering Troy Ave. I mean Taxstone. Roadrunner says, really, Troy helped them by taking a stand. Troy had to take the stand because all of the prosecuting evidence actually pointed at Troy Ave. Troy Ave was the only witness that they had that was going to say that Taxstone fired the gun. Almost all of the evidence that they had was pointing at Troy Ave, not Taxstone. Did they have evidence that also pointed at Taxstone? Obviously. But the majority of the evidence that they had pointed at Troy Ave, not Taxstone. Just telling you what happened. The majority of the evidence. Majority of the evidence pointed at Troy Ave, not Taxstone. I believe at one point or another they told the jury pled out for the gun. From what I hear, Taxstone got jumped. So I think what they were trying to tell me is Taxstone never got a chance to pull the gun. Somebody else was grabbing the gun off of him while they was on top of him beating his ass. And then allegedly, this is the story that a person that is, I'm only saying this because of what you just said, but a person who is friendly with Taxstone said, a person who is friendly with Taxstone, a person that's on Taxstone's side of this. I'm not saying that this is what happened. I'm saying a person who is friendly with Taxstone, who's on Taxstone's side of this. What they said is that they rushed Taxstone too quick for him to even pull any weapon. Then they started fighting for the weapon, and while they were fighting for the weapon, getting the weapon off of Taxstone, the weapon went off. I'm not saying who had it, whatever. We're not getting to that. But the weapon went off. At that point, after the weapon went off, Taxstone then got a hold of the weapon, and then that's when he tried to get away. He didn't have to say they was jumping him. He described the jumping. Sharice says, that's not what he's saying or said. What he's saying, I said. So if Taxstone say I brought the gun in, but I didn't kill nobody, I didn't say that. They just, Sharice, they just do that. They just say that I say things that I'm not saying all the time. Like that happens all the time. And then they're gonna go on somebody else's page and say that I said that. So people think that I'm saying things I'm not saying so they could try to get me killed in the street. You understand? That's not what he's saying or said. It's pretty simple. He was jumped. They were struggling for the control of the gun. Gun went off. Simple. That's all I said. And then I'm telling you what happened. Then they go make videos saying that I said, they're gonna go make a video saying that I said that thing right there that I didn't say. They do that all the time. Don't worry, they're gonna start DMing you, trying to get you, and they're gonna try to DM you and try to get you to not come over here and support the platform. Watch. You're a female. They DM every female that comes through here and tells them to stop supporting the platform. Like it's crazy. So usually we only keep females in here for like a week or two, and then they just leave. The shit is bananas. My dude, I can't worry about the lies. If somebody believed the lies, then they weren't for me. That's it. That's how I'm gonna deal with it. If somebody believed the lies, then they weren't for me. That's it. That's how I'm gonna deal with it. I don't have time to keep track of what Satan is doing. You shouldn't either. All I could say is if you're a supporter of the platform, join the green team. Shout out to Sharice. She's part of the green team. All I could say, if you're a supporter of the channel, join the green team. That's it. No, I'm not being dramatic. Like I really am not. I know you think that I am, but I really am not. At all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I'm probably actually not explaining how bad it actually is because it's bad. Like these people are really pissed off. But it's a they a dub. Like they a dub. I think you got to use the Safari app or something else. You can't join through the YouTube. You have to join through like the Safari app or one of the other apps. I don't think you could join through the YouTube app. So you got to leave out of the YouTube app and like get and pull like desktop up or some shit. You can't on your cell phone. You can't join through the YouTube app on iPhone. It's not possible. Yeah, but I'm not being dramatic actually. You just don't know how bad it is. Like they really are trying hard to prevent me from being able to be successful. You understand? Like they trying hard. But once again, I'm fortunate. I have some things some things and some people, and I'm fortunate. We got people watching us over here. We got people that fuck with what we doing. All the people that's bashing me is doing it is making so that real niggas that's really got the bread ain't gonna fuck with y'all. That's all. Speaking facts, man. You can't help everybody. Some people you should have never tried to help, but that was what God put in front of me. I did the thing what my heart told me to do, try to help people. It is what it is. With that being said, I'm gonna let y'all go. I want everybody to enjoy your day. Go out there, do something positive. Please keep God in your heart. Do something positive. And don't worry about hate. Like, you can't worry about what Satan is doing. Satan is gonna do what Satan is doing. Once again, sometimes Satan is just trying to get you to fight. Satan don't care who win the fight, because Satan ain't fighting you. Satan is always sending somebody else to go do their dirty work. You get it? So Satan ain't never fighting you. Satan is just want you to fight. So don't fight every battle. And if you don't know if that's a battle you should be fighting, don't fight it. You understand? If you don't know whether that's a battle that you should be fighting, don't fight it. Period. I'm expecting to do a Tonight Show tonight. I'm expecting to do a Tonight Show tonight. I'm expecting to, just so we could be clear. I'm expecting to do a Tonight Show tonight. In any regard, we're definitely gonna have a morning show tomorrow. Shout out to Bullets Gotti calling in this morning. Once again, whenever you do a $10 dropping up, you can call in if you want via Instagram. You can call in if you want via Instagram. Whenever you do a $10 dropping up, just so everybody can know. I want to start having more call-ins. Obviously, you're not going to be able to talk for an hour or nothing like that, but you're going to be able to call in, say a couple of things, and then get to your business. With that being said, I love y'all. Please go do something positive with your energy today. Remember, you want positive things to happen to you. You want positive things to happen to the people that you love. So the only way to make that kind of thing happen is to make sure that you're putting positive shit out into the universe. So I would suffer that people spend more time with individuals who's trying to be closer to God rather than individuals who's trying to tear people down. That is never in no way going to be beneficial to whoever you are or whatever it is that you're trying to do. Let me message this right here because I think the person is. So please go out there, just do positive things in the world. Like, we need more good people, right? So don't worry about what Satan is doing. Don't worry about what Satan is doing. Just don't worry about it. Put that shit in God's hands. You understand? That's what I'm doing. I'm just putting it in God's hands, man. And God's hands is pretty big. God can hold a lot more than we can. So when you got too much on your shoulders, you got too much on your back, you got too much that you worried about, you got too much on your mind, hand it over to the Most High. That's literally what he wants you to do. You ask him for help, you ask him for protection, you ask him for all of the things that you need, and then you make sure that your energy corresponds with the things in which you are trying to receive. You can't give the corresponding energy as long as you got Satan in your heart and Satan in your mind. So encourage the best out of others and try your best to lead by example. I love y'all. Have a beautiful day. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.